Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Yes, my name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego, and we are developers on the EOS blockchain. And there's a reason why I call the channel EOS San Diego, because we have been heavily involved with the EOS blockchain since its very beginning. In fact, well before the beginning. I think we're one of the first applications to launch on the EOS blockchain. We've run a node as a block producer. We have not been in the top 21, but we have been running a node for quite some time. And we know quite a bit about the EOS blockchain, probably as much as anybody does. My son's a developer on the EOS blockchain, and we have covered it from every angle. I think I've made over 1,000 videos about the EOS blockchain. And of course, we've always been very bullish about EOS. I've talked to people, in fact, I've even entertained a $100 party. Talked to people about if the price gets to $100, that I will hold a party here in San Diego for EOS's $100 price. I've invited Dan Lermer to be on this channel a few times. I think Dan declines my offer mainly because we are so closely tied to EOS. I think that's the reason why he won't come on the channel. I don't think it's not because he doesn't want to come on the channel. I think he doesn't come on because we are so closely tied to EOS as developers and block producers, and we are such a big part of the EOS blockchain that I think sometimes it's not like if he talks to us, it'd be almost like showing favoritism or something like that. So that's, I think, the main reason why he doesn't. Because I've seen him today. I saw him today on somebody's channel. Actually, that person didn't even post the whole interview because you had to subscribe or pay a subscription to get to the rest of the interview. So he was on there, but I can understand why he did that, because today, or yesterday actually, I think, and I noticed a little bit of a jump in the price on EOS yesterday, and I didn't really investigate because it wasn't that big. It was like a 15% jump. But the reason why is because Google Cloud has now announced that they will partner with the EOS blockchain and become one of the block producers, or will run for a block producer. And of course, they will be elected block producer. I guarantee you they'll be a block producer, especially with Block One voting for him and everybody else too. People would be crazy not to invite Google into this space or onto the EOS blockchain, because Google lends credibility. This is the most bullish news I've ever heard, not only in EOS, but in all of crypto, that Google is going to become a block producer on the EOS blockchain. I've been watching other videos and watching news. In fact, I tried to study some other information before I came here tonight to do this video. And honestly, people, no one really understands the magnitude of what's happening right now. I noticed there was a pretty, I've watched a lot of Dan's interviews, and I noticed, and I can't remember whose channel he was on, but I don't think she's a follower of EOS. She just saw the news and was able to get hold of Dan and had a quick interview with him. But I could tell by Dan's demeanor that he was pretty happy about this Google Cloud becoming block producers. I've watched enough of his content to know that I could tell I was a pretty excited Dan, as excited as Dan can get. But anyway, this is huge. I don't care what anybody else says. Like I said, I've made 1,000 videos on EOS. We have spent countless hours as developers on the EOS blockchain. We have one of the most successful applications running on the EOS blockchain, the Challenge application. We're running worldwide. I think we have over 5,000 downloads on that. We have 2,000 people on our Telegram. We have a multitude of things going on. We develop every day with it. Like I said, my son's one of the developers on the Challenge application. We know it very well, and we know this is what we've been waiting for. You know, and I've made a lot of videos, and there's been the up times and there's been the down times, and I always knew that one day this day would happen, that something big was going to happen that was going to make all the difference in the world, and that is today. When Google comes aboard, this gives credibility to the EOS blockchain. Not only does it give credibility to the EOS blockchain, it gives scalability. It gives as Google, as a cloud Google Cloud, as somebody that has incredible resources, as somebody that's able to scale, somebody that's able to add security, and somebody that's able to add storage to the EOS blockchain is unbelievable, and plus the name recognition. Google is 90% of internet search. So them partnering and actually working with EOS and the EOS blockchain is incredibly bullish. I realize the price hasn't gone up that much, but the only reason the price hasn't gone up that much is most people don't understand what's going on. And not understanding what's going on, they will eventually, and I think things will get a lot better very quickly. I'm not telling you to go out and buy EOS right now because of this news, because I really fear that so many people just don't get it, and they won't get it. And I understand that because we've got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours involved in this. So we know what it takes, and we know what it's about. And if you've watched my videos, you've seen me do this for a long time. So you know, I get it. I've been here. I know what we've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. And I've talked to myself many times after I've shot these videos and thought to myself, the only way this is ever going to really get big and take off is if block producers become very stable, people that that give name recognition to the blockchain. We need partners that are going to give it credibility. Not that the block producers now aren't doing that, because I'm friends with a lot of the block producers. I know quite a few of them, and I'm not saying anything negative about anybody that's a block producer now. But we need the Googles of the world as block producers, because they do give a lot of attention and give a lot of resources and give a lot of credibility. Once something is running, and Google is actually running the node, and Google is running the content, and Google is storing the content, and Google has control over the content, you know that you're running one of the biggest corporations, one of the biggest vast networks in the world is running that blockchain. When you know that's going on, then you know that you're dealing in one of the biggest arenas in the world. You're dealing with Google. The reason Amazon ever got big is because Jeff Bezos got involved with Google very early. Bezos saw Google. In fact, I think he was one of the original investors in Google. I think he gave him a few $100,000 back when they were just starting up. And of course, he saw what was going on, and he got involved with them, and they took off. And of course, Google is probably the biggest name on the internet. Have them involved with the EOS blockchain is incredible. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they really haven't studied it or followed it as close as we have. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm sure people have watched my videos. This is the first video you've watched. Go back and scroll through my previous videos. We have put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and we have fought the hard battle. We have fought the long battle, and we fought the tough battle to be here today. And we know that this is a big, 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 big thing. I mean, the hugest thing you can ever imagine. I can't tell you how big this is. This is big. This is big for Google to come on as block producers. This is what we've been waiting for. This has to happen for EOS to be the main blockchain, of which I think they will now. I mean, I've always had just a little trepidation about it. I always knew that the blockchain was the fastest blockchain in the world. I always knew that the way Dan Lammer had set it up and structured it, that it was the only one that would ever scale. I always knew all that stuff, and I always knew that it would come back to this, and that this would be the blockchain that would probably run the world. But now I know it will, based on the fact that Google is thrown in with them. This is what's going to happen now. I've made countless videos about this. Of course, every time I made a video like this, people would always kind of, they would kind of always raise an eyebrow and wonder if I knew what I was talking about. And I have had a lot of people tell me that I've made a lot of predictions here where people have lost money on my predictions because I keep saying it's going to go higher, and it hasn't. And of course, it always makes me feel a little bit bad that people think that, because of my optimism, that if they listen to me and invest, that somehow, if it goes down, that I've caused them some hardship. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. And I hope nobody feels that way. But with the news like we're getting today, I feel like in the long term, this is definitely going to be a big win for everybody, especially people that are at this stage. It's going to be a huge win. This is what we're waiting for. This is it. This is the golden ticket. And like Dan said, and I think he's absolutely right, this is going to bring others aboard. So Google's on board. I think you couldn't get a bigger name on board. And as others come forth, other big names come forth to be block producers, you are going to see this thing really take off. This will be the de facto blockchain of the world. more than Ethereum, more than Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum have their place. And of course, I'm a huge Bitcoin supporter. In fact, I think most of the cryptocurrency I own is in Bitcoin. And the reason is because I believe Bitcoin is world money, but EOS will be world blockchain, which is blockchain that runs the applications that run the world. That's what I believe. And of course, we're one of those applications. And you know, we've been there for a long time, like through the hardest of the hardest times. And of course, here recently have been hard times because the price has gone way, way low, and the interest is way low. And in fact, it's kind of funny that the interest is so low right now that you can have news like this and the price only jumps up a few cents or 15, 20 cents. That's incredible. If this was a hot market, you would see EOS going crazy in the you know, as far as price is concerned. But because the price is depressed, it's not doing that. But it will. There will be a day very soon where the price will be going much higher based on news like today. I also knew this was going to happen because I've been around a long time, and I've listened to a lot of people over the years, and I followed this for a long, long time. I've been on the internet for a long, long time, since the very beginning. I've been on the internet. Of course, I've been a developer myself, mainly a front-end developer, but I've been involved with a lot of internet. What would you say? Internet building, internet structure. I've done a lot myself, and I always thought, and of course I was a stockbroker for a long time, I always thought that when EOS or Block 1 got the waiver from the Security and Exchange Commission that bigger things were going to happen for Block 1. I thought that was kind of like an invitation for them to be mass adoption, getting mass adoption. I also felt that when they had their meeting back in the area of the Washington, D.C., which is where the national capital is, nation's capital, I always thought that was kind of strange too. Because when they had that meeting back there in Washington, D.C., that didn't really seem like there was much going on. I mean, they had a few people there that were pretty important, but I didn't really understand the connection. I knew something big was going on, but I knew something big was happening behind the scenes, but I didn't know quite what it was. So when they got the waiver from the Security and Exchange Commission, they had the meeting back in Washington, D.C., and some other things were going on. I said, well, they're talking to big people. I knew they were talking to big people because they wouldn't have those things happen if they didn't. Got a train coming, the EOS train. There we go. The EOS Google train right now. So I always knew that there were big things going on and that they were getting things set up for days like today where Google would announce his block producer. So yeah, Google Cloud being block producer is huge. I can't even express it. I don't even know how to put it into words. And I know I'm probably one of the few people doing this because everybody else is just that I listen to is just kind of like it's just everyday ordinary news. But they don't understand it to the level we understand it. And of course, we put a lot of work into it. And if you want to know how much work we put into it, just go check out our application, which is Challenge EOS on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. If you go check out our application, you see how much work we've done on this. We've put a lot of time, a lot of effort into being developers on this. And like I said, we were one of the first. And we worked very, very hard at it and continue to work hard at it every day. We believed in this from the very, very beginning. And like I say, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all these others, even though they are, work product or mining by proof of work, EOS is proof of stake, delegated proof of stake. Even though that everybody claims EOS is more centralized because of the 21 block producers. When you get big tech companies involved like Google and some of the others that could come aboard, who even knows after Google? Almost anybody could come aboard, but others will, especially since Google's made the first plunge. That helps us to become more decentralized and helps people to have more belief and more feelings of security and more feelings of that the content and whatever they put on it is more secure, and that it's being stored properly. It's not having problems. Google would not do this if they didn't believe that this was a secure blockchain. And of course, on the internet, security is everything. And Google wouldn't do this if they didn't believe that this had incredible potential, because there'd be no win for Google to do this unless they felt that this was something big and it's going to be something of the future. Because they're not doing it for money. Obviously, the rewards aren't of any interest to Google, and there's nothing else monetarily that can make Google interested in this unless they just really believe in the product and they really believe in the open source platform of the EOS blockchain, which is running currently online. And as I've made a lot of videos in the past, that even though there's times I felt like it could be doing better, and even though sometimes I had a negative title, if you watch the videos were always very, very positive, because I always knew in the end that this would work, and that this would be the place that would run the applications that run the world because of the speed and the scalability. So anyway, yesterday, Google comes aboard as a block producer. Biggest news in blockchain history, biggest news in EOS history, and as far as I'm concerned, one of the biggest things to ever happen on the internet. I appreciate you watching.